Leef with the Legends podcast highlights people doing exceptional work in the areas of sports, entertainment, business, and entrepreneurship. Make sure to like this video, leave comments down below, and subscribe to the channel. As always, be legendary or be lost. Yo, we back. Another episode, Leaf with the Legends. I got my bro, one of my former players. Man, he's a Dominican legend, Maryland legend, overseas legend. We're gonna get into all of what he's got going on. But man, just want to welcome you to the podcast, man. Appreciate you pulling up. We got Diamond Stone, man.
No problem, man. Just showing love, man.
Oh yeah, you already know. You already know. So D, man, I met you I met you a while ago, but I started coaching you your senior year, and you were already like highly touted, number one center in the nation, top 5 player overall in the nation. But before we get to that, like how did you get introduced to the game, and like what made you really fall in love with the game of basketball?
Honestly, really my dad, you know what I'm saying? My dad, you know what I'm saying, he an older dude. Everybody who know my dad in Milwaukee, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? He pretty much instilled the game with me when I was younger. Like really like that he got game movie. Like really like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like honestly, like, used to go to Holy Redeemer, almost every night. He had the key to Holy Redeemer. So I used to live up there, you know what I'm saying? Arguments, through whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Him leaving me there, I gotta call my mom, like, you know what I'm saying? Like just like it was really like that. But I feel like at a young age, he instilled in me like just working on like fundamentals. Like, like basketball is a game of fundamentals. He used to always tell me that. It's not how like fast fast you jump, how what I'm saying, fast you run, how you jump. Like it's really about the skill. Like if you master your skill, like you could be able to play forever. And because obviously, being athletic, that's definitely a part of the game. But once you can't do that anymore, what are you really bringing to the table? And skill. People say, skills pay bills. And that
Yeah.
is true.
Fact.
So I feel like just working on, and as young as just working on my game. Left hand, right hand, just I played a little soccer growing up to get my coordination right. I did martial arts for 3 years. Um, I played 1 year of football, St. Bernadette League. I kind of did all of it, but he made me do all those things to kind of like circle around basketball. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because soccer for coordination, footwork. You know what I'm saying? Like martial arts, balance, little discipline and stuff like that, and just football obviously, it's football physical sport. So, just be able to, take through contact and just, absorb contact. So, really my dad, what I'm saying, he was working with me at a young age, 6, 7 years old, so
Man,
yeah,
that's
for
dope.
sure.
That's dope. No, shout out to Pop, shout out to Moms. And I mean, you come from an athletic family. I mean, obviously you was just talking
Yeah.
about your pops, but your mom, she played collegiate volleyball as well as your sister, right?
Yep. Yep,
So,
yep, yeah. My
just
sister, she played at Tennessee State. She was like the fourth leading blocker in the nation when she was
oh
in
wow,
college, and
dope.
yeah. Yeah, my mom, she was a volleyball. She's always been around volleyball, like her whole life. So yeah, for sure. My cousin Enrique, she playing WNBA right now.
Man, shout out
Dallas.
Enrique.
Yeah, and my cousin Dare, he playing with Texans right now. Running back from the Texans.
Yep,
So
yep.
for sure, like
That's dope. No, we gotta get Enrique on the pod too, but we'll talk
for
offline
sure,
on that.
man. He'll definitely get on here.
Yeah, for sure. But no,
Yeah.
man, so like with all of that training and kind of encouragement and development, like you were obviously a highly touted eighth grader. So like playing AAU, like what made you choose Dominican high school? Because I know everybody was after you.
Yeah, no, for sure. So honestly, what made me, I mean, it's so, I kind of changed schools a little bit, you know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I'm saying? just not really just locking in, focusing, you know, just young and just, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of changed schools a little bit and I ended up at Longfellow. I ended up at Longfellow. And when I went to Longfellow my middle school year, uh, I got into a little incident, whatever, and I had to leave. And then I had to go to MPS. I went to River Trail, you know, a school called River Trail. I went to River Trail, and my mom, she, you know, she was a substitute teacher all through, pretty much when I was in middle school, she was a substitute teacher, you know what I'm saying, you know, all through MPS. And so she didn't want me to go to MPS. You know what I'm saying? She was
Right.
like, no, you know, we don't want you. Obviously, you know, my friends, you know, I wanted to go, you know, to King, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to all the school, and so, but she didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? She's like, no, no. And so I think it was the Concordia Classic. I want to say it's the Concordia, the Christmas tournament,
Christmas
I think.
time. Yep. Yep. Yep.
It was my 8th grade year, and I was still trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, where I'm gonna go, et cetera. Because I stayed by Madison, so I stayed by Madison High School, my mom's house. So that was really the school that I would go to, but she didn't really want me to go there. And so she so my dad pretty much just went up to Wallersheim like at the tournament, like I got a 6th, 8th, 8th grader, like, and like, he looking for a school to go to. And
Mm,
Wallersheim kind of like, this is my dad, he telling me like, Wallersheim looked at him and was like, bring him in. Um, I didn't know Dwayne, I didn't know any of them, so I didn't really know any of them. And so, I go in, I shadow there. I remember I shadowed, and I remember I went back that night for late practice. And
mm.
I practiced with, Breon Jamal Taylor, Breon Jordan,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
yeah. All those guys. And so, we Iman was there, Iman. And so I go practice, and I did good. I held my own, to be 8th grade, I held my own. Like, and so, from there on, like Wallerstein was like, no, I want this kid. I want this kid. And so, long story short, I ended up going to Dominican. I was blessed enough to, for somebody Dominican, like I think it was a donor, donor kind of like, kind of looked out for me, you know what I'm saying? Like with Dominican, like really wanted me there. And, I was able to make it happen.
Hmm. Yeah. No, you
But
definitely
it's a
made
good
it. You
school
definitely
though.
made it happen.
My dad wanted me to have some knowledge. Dominican's a great school,
Yep.
till today, the stuff I learned, like, just the culture change, to be able to blend in, you know what I'm saying, to be able to be in a certain rooms and to be able to, hang with your friends, but to be able to be professional too. Like,
No,
I
for
feel like
sure.
that taught me a lot.
Definitely, definitely, well rounded, and molded you, just on and off
Exactly.
the court for sure, for sure. And actually, I was supposed to go to Dominican,
Yeah.
so I was my brother went to Dominican, and then like you said, I shadowed him, and I knew Wallersheim, and then guys kind of came along, last minute, and I ended up at King, but it
Yeah,
is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But it all worked out. So
No,
man,
for sure.
so you get to Dominican, so you were fortunate to you played under Wally 1 year?
Yeah, I played on Wally one
Okay.
year.
So you played under Wally 1 year, and shout out Coach Wallerstein, Hall of Fame
Yeah, yeah,
coach, like,
for
great
sure.
guy, like, shout out Wally. So Wally so you win 4 state titles, like
Great
like,
championship.
I don't know how long or even when did it really click? Like, damn, I won 4, like, 4 I got 4 rings. Like, when did it click for you? When you was like, "Damn, like, I just made history."
Man, honestly, probably after I won the fourth one, honestly, like that's probably when it really clicked because I didn't really realize what I was doing, and people say like, oh, the division, but I mean, like you can't win every game by yourself. Like, it's a
Yeah,
team sport, honestly.
fact.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have a good team and you gotta be on the same page in order to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so like it really didn't click until after my senior year, and I kind of was reading stuff that I was the only player to do it. It was one other player that went to Randolph that did it, but he didn't
One of the
play his
was that one
freshman
of the
year.
Tillamas
I
or
don't even
just
I'm not
another?
even
Okay,
sure,
got you.
but I know that as far as in someone who started freshman senior year, like I definitely was the first person to do that. So I mean, I was like, that's a major accomplishment for me for sure. But I mean, it was hard though. Like, what I'm saying, it was real hard. What I'm saying, my freshman year, especially that freshman year, what I'm saying, that was, because we had a lot of good non-conference games too. What I'm saying? Like we played against Germantown. I think we played against
Did y'all play against Looney now? Hamilton?
uh
No,
I think I
maybe
think
not. Maybe not your freshman year. I know. I
yeah, I
know.
don't think my
I
freshman
came to
year.
one
I know
game when
freshman.
y'all, when y'all played
Yeah,
against
yeah.
Germantown.
I think that was my junior year. I want to say
Okay.
my junior year we played against Hamilton.
Okay. Okay.
Looney senior year, I think.
Got you.
I think I was with Taiwan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Damn. So yeah. So like it and when as you were like describing a lot of the uh a lot of the trainings and a lot of the things that your pops put you through. One thing that stood out with me when I got the opportunity to coach you, aside from the offensive skills, was your defense. And when you're looking at highlights from you, like you see, like you're blocking a majority of your shots with your left hand.
Yes.
So like what techniques or what practices like went into like the timing and the overall art of blocking shots?
Okay, so my philosophy was if a person is left-handed, obviously he's going to shoot majority of shots with his left hand. So I always block it with the opposite hand. But the majority of people you're playing against are usually right-hand dominant. So left hand would be the hand I would block the shots with. So that would be all my philosophy is to always block the shot with the opposite hand. But it's just really about timing. It's really just about being around the game because it's just like certain things like a person drives baseline majority of the time they're gonna reverse. Like, what I'm saying? Just like knowing like different type of like mechanism people do. It's just it's like, just watching a lot of film of different players. It's just like just seeing how they play and you kind of pick up on what they do.
Got you. Okay, yeah. No, I was always curious about that because, like, I just noticed like that left hand, like you just
Yeah, no.
killing people, killing it, like
Yeah.
sending it to the second row. All 70% of your blocks was left hand, but it makes sense though. Right hand shooters, left hand contest or left hand block. So that's what's up. So all right, I'm just about to read a little bit of just your senior year stats and accolades, bro, just so like the people can get a little better sense of just how dominant you were. Um, and I came and started coaching you your senior year, and just being around you, seeing your work ethic, like I see why these stats are what they are. So senior year, you averaged 24.4 points per game, 11.7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. He was named AP Player of the Year. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they do some bull and make it Mr. Basketball that year?
Man, cold Mr. Basketball did that to me, yeah.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
I was still thankful though, but I
Yeah,
should
no,
have
for sure.
definitely won in clear waters. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. All right, but yeah,
For
we know
sure.
how that go. But that doesn't,
Yeah,
that
no.
doesn't diminish, the stats and accolades and what you did. And I mean,
Yeah.
even if your senior year was comparable to your Mr. Basketball winner, prior, like you got to factor in all, the rest of your high school career, like
Exactly.
winning 3 straight and then, following it up, with your senior year going out, on top, with state title. But yeah, no, it was an honor and a pleasure to coach you, bro. Like on and off the
No,
court.
thank you.
We had some fun. We had some
Appreciate that.
fun, bro. You already know.
No, for sure.
Um, but before we go any further though, like I want to talk about Under Armour.
Yeah.
And I've coached, some high profile players, but I've never coached any player who practiced in a different pair of shoes.
It's so crazy. Man. I tell everybody that, man. But like, cause now, like I'm at a point where like I wear one pair of shoes until I can't wear them no more. Like I'm
Yeah,
scared to change shoes. Like I gotta have a certain pair of shoes. Like I'm not testing the waters on those shoes. Like I gotta wear that shoe. I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, no, for sure. Like Under Armour gang was kind of crazy back
It was
then.
nuts. It was nuts. It was nuts. I just remember you used to come to practice like, Leaf, you seen these? Leaf, you seen hell no, I ain't seen them.
Yeah, facts, nah, facts, nah. Under Armour definitely know that they so crazy. I was actually Nike, so I didn't get onto the scene till my 8th grade year. So
Mhm.
I went like I was unranked. Like, I was one of those kids, like I wasn't really that good at basketball. I didn't really play a lot. AAU growing up, like, middle school, like I didn't really play a lot. And so 8th grade, but so shout out to Deshaun Curtis too also. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
was also working with Deshaun. He was getting my footwork together. He was getting a lot of stuff that my dad could. My dad's kind of old school. So, Deshaun kind of put it to new school a little bit. And so, shout out to Deshaun too, because I definitely wouldn't be where I am basketball wise if it wasn't for him also training with me at a young age and, doing everything like that. So, but I went to the John Lucas camp my 8th grade year, and it was like a touted camp. You know what I'm saying? Keywan Alonzo Trier. All these different guys that were like ranked as a youngin. And so I went to that camp and I performed really well. I was third overall in the camp,
Mm.
and so my freshman year, after the camp, I got interest from Nike. And
Okay.
so it was Vince Baldwin. He
Yeah.
was the rep. He was the rep from Nike.
Shout out
He,
Vince.
yeah, shout out to Vince. He saw interest in me. He saw, my potential. And so, we locked in from there. Saying I was getting the care packages, the Jordans. My parents, they wasn't buying me none of that. You know what I'm saying? Jordans, none of that. So, he changed my whole wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? Just totally, he believed in me. You know what I'm saying? So, 8th grade, I performed well. 9th grade, we were Nike. My AU team was Nike. And so growing up, I was with the team Milwaukee Young Legends. We kind of separated when we were younger, but I stayed on there.
Mhm.
And so, we kind of formed the team again. Deshaun was the head coach. My dad was the assistant, and we just kind of formed it again. But we were Nike sponsored my freshman year. But the thing about Nike is, they only focus on one guy. So they only got one guy. Nike is not like they're going to send everybody gear. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. They're going to only lock in on their guy. Obviously they get you the bare minimum stuff, the warm ups, team shoes, etc. But like anything extra, they're just doing it for that guy they want. And so at the time, it was obviously all good for me, but at the time, Deshaun, and my dad, they wanted kind of to be for more of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like more team and not more individually with just me. And so Under Armour said they would fill that void. They would basically, do everything that Nike wasn't doing. You know what I'm saying? And and sophomore, junior, senior year, we were Under Armour. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It totally changed everything in Dominican. I remember the track team, the teachers had Under Armour on. Like I'm talking about the girls team was sponsored by Under Armour. Like totally changed everything in Dominican was Under Armour. They were, everybody's getting more shoes and, it was just, it was real. It was a fun time to be in. Like, because Under Armour, they was just doing the most. They was just, taking care of everything. My dad got 20 pairs of shoes and just like crazy.
No, I was always curious, man, because it's like I said, like you had like Under Armour definitely looked out. Like I done seen the care
Yeah,
packages,
sure.
from Nike and Adidas and other companies, but like like man, it was yeah, it was unmatched what I
Yeah.
seen, especially
But it
from
started
like
with
a
JP though. JP really started though with Under Armour though. He really kind of
uh
started that wave. You know what I'm
got you.
saying? Under Armour is always take. I remember the Under Armour Classic. They had the Under Armour Classic in Milwaukee.
That's
Like,
right. That's
uh,
right. Yeah.
yeah, like like JP really kind of started that wave. Like, I know Under Armour they was taking great care of him. And but no, for sure, like they definitely took care of me. Like, do pairs like 10 pair of shoes, 20 pair of shoes, like just whatever.
So
But
so
obviously,
with
I had to perform them.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. What you did for sure. So with the Under Armour connection, how much of an influence did that play into you choosing Maryland, which was an Under Armour school?
Good question. No, so I'm not gonna lie to you, Lee. Like, so so freshman sophomore year, I didn't really understand the importance of education. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like I obviously understood, but I was just doing the bare minimum to just play. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really click to me that like, yo, you gotta really buckle down on your school in order to get to these colleges. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really understand that. And um so junior year hit and it like, teams start calling, that's when, everything starts to change. And,
Mhm.
people want to basically dive into, what's his grades like? What's this like? What's this like? What's this like? And so, I kind of really took it seriously my junior year. I took it seriously, you know what I'm saying? So, from tutoring after set, tutoring, from with Miss Mueller, tutoring
Yep.
after school with the practice and just really just all the way dialed in on it. And so I really wanted to go to Kentucky. That's the school I really, really wanted to go to. You know what I'm saying? Because me and Calipari got the same birthday,
Mm.
and he basically came in and he said, in the meeting, because we met with him at Dominican, he came in basically and said, you know, if he comes here, he'll be out in 6 months, 5 months. He'll be a professional in 5 months. And that was it. He said, I have a plane to catch. If he comes to this school, he'll be out in 5 months. And, at the time, my parents, they don't really understand that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They don't really understand that, okay, he's about to do 1 year in college or he's about, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't really understand. They don't really understand that. They're old fashioned. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And
Mhm.
not to diss my parents, but, you know, they didn't really understand like the potential and everything that I had. They're like, well, what if you get hurt your first year? They wanted me kind of, 4 year education, degree, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just, obviously like, I'm like, well, I want to go to the NBA. That's everybody's dream, go to
Yep.
the NBA. And it's like they didn't really understand that, like, yo, you gotta, what I'm saying, like, they're gonna, I got a good year in Kentucky, everybody, their whole starting five goes to the NBA lottery
Yep.
picks, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't really understand that. So that kind of was the thing. But I definitely wanted to go to Kentucky. That was the one school I wanted to go to. But I would say Under Armour did have a play in it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It did definitely had a play into it, but it wasn't a play. It wasn't like the play that everybody thinks it was. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Like
Yeah,
it
no, for
wasn't
sure.
like yeah, it wasn't like a big bag dropped or anything like that. It was just more of like,
It's a
if you come to
relationship,
this,
right?
if you come to this school,
Yeah.
perform, this will happen. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Just give me something to work for.
Yep.
And so, um, and honestly, when I committed, like I really was just at my friend's house, like really just tweeted like I'm committed to University of Maryland. Like it really wasn't no big press conference, no anything. It was really just like I'm going to Maryland. Like really just like okay, I'm going to Maryland because Maryland has a thing also. If you can go back to school for free anytime you want. So if I
Oh,
really
wow.
want to get my education again and do whatever, so that was one of the perks that attracted my mom, my dad. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go back to my education again, I can do that. No charge, no
Lit.
anything. So
That's
that
lit.
was really one of the things that kind of sparked them. But I mean, if I would do it all over again, honestly, I would probably go to Kentucky, honestly. But
Yeah.
I mean, I had a great year though at Maryland. Like, it was real, it was a real good year. We were number one team in the preseason, number one team from North Carolina. I met some great guys, saying made some great relationships. And I'm in the record books there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
the
for
only
sure.
freshman who had 39 points, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying, in the game. So
Yeah, no, it ended up working out, in the end. But yeah, I mean, what y'all made to Sweet 16?
yep, Sweet 16, we
Sweet
lost to
16?
Kansas in the
Yeah, first
16.
first time first time in probably what, 13 years or so?
Yep, yep.
Damn near 15 years. So you have a, obviously a solid, really good freshman year at Maryland. Second, I think he was like second in the team in scoring. Obviously you blocks, like you impacted the game, like newcomer of the year, for the Big Ten, like all that, like all these accolades. So what's going through your mind where you like, shit, I'm entering the draft. Like I ain't like what what led up to that decision? Like was you just
Yeah.
like I'm tired, I
Honestly,
don't want to do school or
all
what?
honesty, like I was thinking that from the jump, man.
Okay,
Like I'm
okay.
not even gonna lie to you. Like I was like, I'm only here for 1 year because I got a lot of friends. You got to think about we're at these camps. I'm at
Yeah.
LeBron. Like I got
FIBA.
teammates. I got all my friends, Malik Noom, all these different freshmen that's coming in. I know that's what they thinking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like, why can't I do that? You know what I'm saying? And so like, I just already knew in my mind that I'm going to the NBA. That I'm going. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was young, I'm 18, it's probably, so I probably could have handled things differently, how I was acting and everything. But, I'm from Milwaukee, I'm a small city, what I'm saying? I'm going to, I'm in Maryland, DC, you know what I'm
DMV. Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the women, like, just everything, just like, it's just like, wow, it's just mind blowing to me. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like my first taste of like, really like, I was, in high school, you take pictures and you do stuff like that, and but it was like just my first time of just like kind of like a star moment, like kind of like we going to clubs in DC, and it's like I'm getting in, like they saying my name on the mic, like what I'm saying, I'm like, so it was just kind of like wow, like what I'm saying, it was just kind of like a wow moment, what I'm saying. So, but like no, it was, I mean, it was real fun though. Like I mean, I had real fun at Maryland.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you declare for the draft. You end up getting selected 40th in the 2016 draft. So you get selected to the Clippers. Like going back, like I've seen like a very how can I describe it? I would say like intense one-on-one between you and Paul
Yeah.
Pierce. So like what was like your welcome to the NBA moment? Like where you was okay, like this shit is real. Like, I'm
Okay.
playing against the best, or it could be the on or off the court.
Okay, so when I get drafted, so I wasn't fortunate enough to go to the green room. So
Mhm,
when I get, I had 11 NBA workouts,
mm,
and I honestly thought I was going to Toronto because that was the only team out of all the 11 teams that basically asked me to come back. And usually, like when you talk to guys who have NBA workouts, if a team wants you to come back twice, that's a good sign.
yeah,
So that
for
means
sure.
they want you. And so Toronto had the number 9 pick, and I think they dropped it, Jakob Poeltl. Um, and I killed the workout. You know what I'm saying? Like I killed the workout. Uh, the GM at the time, basically asked me, like, what do I, how do I feel coming here? I'm like, I want to come here. I'm on the phone with my mom. Like, I'm here. It was just, I thought I was there. And so, draft comes, and I'm looking at 9. Didn't happen. So I'm like, dang. What I'm saying? So my agent at the time his name was Derek Powell. He was with Tandem Sports.
Mhm.
And basically he was just like, we're good, like we're good. It was just like it didn't make any sense to me. And so but it started to make sense because I was just kind of thinking like, man, what's going on? Because in my NBA workouts that I was having, they were kind of interviewing me, just asking me like, it wasn't anything about basketball. It was more like off the court. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like, and anybody who knows me know I like to have fun. Like they know, like, I'm, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so it was more just like kind of like with my like just the background check. It's just how like NBA is really like it's a $1 billion business, but it's just like people don't really understand. They have people everywhere.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like they really like private investigators are real. You know what I'm saying? Like they really watch you. You know what I'm saying? Like they know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like and the questions they ask you, majority of the time they already know. And people don't
Yep.
really, people need to realize that like if they ask you questions, most likely they already know the answers to them. They just want to see what type of person are you. And
Gotcha.
so, it's just like I was just kind of like, it's just a lot of stuff we had with the teammates. It was just like people that I was thinking that, are my team or, family, and it was just like, I'm in these workouts, I'm talking to Brad Stevens, I'm talking to the GM from Chicago at the time, Gar, I'm talking to all these different, GMs and owners, presidents, John Paxton, and there's just like they're giving me information that only people that who really were in my circle would know.
Mm.
So it's just kind of like, dang, like how are they knowing this? Like they're telling me about a party that happened, a fight that might have happened, or a situation, that really only a couple people would know. So it was
Wow.
kind of like a mind blowing thing for me at an early age. Like, wow, like this is crazy. So fast forward, I get drafted by the Clippers. Doc Rivers calls me. He's like, Diamond, not because the thing I didn't want to do, I didn't want to go to the G League. That was the thing. At the time, I was like, no way, I'm going to the G League. No way. You know what I'm saying? And when I asked Doc, I'm like, Doc, I don't want to play. He's like, I don't plan on playing you in the G League. You know what I'm saying? He didn't plan on taking me to the G League, didn't plan on any of that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in LA. Okay. First, first time really being in LA really like that. And so I get to LA and I'm 19 years old. And so it was just like it was just like, when I got when I got this PC, it's like it's LA. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm in LA,
One one
man.
one coast to the other, right?
Yeah, like one cuss the other. I'm like, man, like it's crazy. And so I'm in LA, I meet, Chris Paul, meet Blake Griffin, Paul Pierce, and the people don't really realize like we had a lot of vets on that team.
Yep.
And like not just players, but like coaches, like Sam Cassell, like Mike Woodson, like we hired Kevin Garnett as our consultant.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like we had like, Allen Anderson, Paul Pierce, Jamal Crawford, Raymond Felton, DeAndre Jordan, like Austin Rivers, like, Wesley Johnson, like just Brandon Bass. Like it was just it was a lot of leadership in that locker room. And at the time, like I needed that for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just to see how people were being professional, and it's helping me to this day. But Paul, like me and Paul relationship, because Paul's a competitor. You know what I'm saying? I am too. And
Yep.
so I feel like Paul can't do nothing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm telling him that. And that's the thing that Paul liked. Because I wasn't that rookie. I didn't kiss butt. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I was really like, I'm trying to play on this team. You know what I'm saying? And Paul respected that. Even if it was so far-fetched out there that I wasn't gonna play on the team. But it was just that fact that like my mentality. Like even with Chris Paul, like I'm playing one-on-one with Chris Paul. I might do a shooting dribble with Chris Paul. Like I believe that I'm going to win. And it's just so, and it's like I didn't treat them like the celebrity status that they were. I
Right.
treated them just like, how we having a conversation or just like, just a regular person. And,
Yep.
and people with that type of status, they respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of environment they want to be around because every day they're around people who, this and this and this. And so
Yeah.
when
Yes,
they
man.
exactly. And so that's how me and Paul became close. I'm talking about I was with Paul almost every day. It was good and bad. He taught me a lot of lessons, but like Paul, that was Paul's last year. Paul wasn't playing. And so, I might get a call at 2 a.m. like, young fella, where you at? Come on, get your clothes on. We out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I'm out here. I'm with Paul. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
like, maybe I should have just said no, but at the end of the day, it was just like, man, Paul was my guy. And it was just like, you know, he not playing. I know I'm not playing. So, I mean, why not? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
I got
so that was kind of our relationship. Like, I was always, I was like Paul wingman, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Paul hit me like, yo, young fella, where you at? You know what I'm saying? Pull up on me. You know what I'm saying? It was just like that. So, and it's like people around the team, they saw their relationship with us, and they, they used to call me Truth 2.0. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like, and
dope.
so, yeah, but, Paul, my guy, though.
That's
We
what's
had
up.
KG too, though. KG, he was our consultant working out. I used to stay working out with KG. You know what I'm saying? KG, like, young fella, man. He's like, young fella, you could make it on that Celtics team. He's always telling me that, like, young fella, you could have made it on that Celtics team, young fella. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just always telling me that because I used to always work out with him. He'd see, practice sometimes, it gets serious. You know what I'm saying? I might be, me and B Bass might get into it. JJ Redick was on that team, and it was just like he seen I wasn't backing down. And and they respected that, even I was so young. And so Yeah, like, I mean, and Doc Rivers, Doc saw it, you know what I'm saying? But it was really just no chance of me playing. And that's what it didn't really click. And I feel like that's when it clicked, that's when I was kind of like, oh man, like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I wasted my time at that point, you know. But I really wasn't. I didn't, you know, I should have just, you know, I'm in the NBA at the end of the day. But at the
Yep.
end of the day, I don't want to just be in the NBA. I want to play in the NBA,
Right.
you know. And it didn't really click for me. Like, okay, like I might have to chill for 2 years, you know what I'm saying, 2, 3 years before I actually get my shot. I felt like I was ready to play now. So, you know, I felt like I was showing you why I should be playing. I'm shooting the ball, high clip. I'm doing everything left, right hand. I feel like I should have been playing. But, you know, I had Brandon Bass in front of me. I had Brandon Bass, 12 years in the league. Most space at the time was 10 years. I had DeAndre Jordan, 10 years. And I had Blake Griffin. So I had four bigs. And then Paul Pierce when he wanted to play. You know what I'm saying? So then I had basically five people ahead of me that basically got super vet status.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was really like I'm really just relaxing. And I didn't really I didn't like that at all.
Man. No, that's intense. So you so
Yeah.
you so you go so you know that year, you know, goes like your rookie year goes by, right? So then you end up like you didn't want to, but you end up in the G League, right? So you bounced
Yeah.
around in the G League like before you kind of landed in Puerto Rico, right?
Yep, yep.
So let's
So
let's talk let's talk about let's talk about the your G League experience and like what was that like? Was it better or worse than you expected?
so when I got to the G League, I got told in practice, you know, they're like, young fella, you know, Paul, like, young fella, you going to the G League? I'm like, huh? Like, I was just like, what? I'm like, man, I'm going to kill that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, come on now. And so at the time, we had D Brown, you know, D Brown dunk contest, you know what I'm saying? He was on our staff too. And
Oh wow.
so his job was basically, he was just with me. So he was kind of like, you know, I went to the G League, you know, he was just there with me, working me out, making me feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just kind of like, you know, he traveled with me, you know what I'm saying? So when I went to I played for Santa Cruz Warriors.
Yep.
You know, I was with Elgin. You know what I'm saying? I was being Elgin E. Cook, you know what I'm saying? We was on the same team in Santa Cruz. And so my first game, we were playing against, you know, Vander Blue and them, you
Okay.
know,
Yep.
in LA, the defenders, you know, first, you know, all the staff is there because they see me work out so much. They want to see me play, you know. First game, played 25 minutes, 31-9. You know what I'm saying? And
Light.
so like 31-9. And so I'm like, next day I go back, I'm like, you know, come on, Pig, man, you know me. Like, come on, I'm talking about, man, it's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, you know, Jamal, you know, all the they like, man, y'all, you crazy, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, they can't mess with me. And so, uh, but it was a good experience though. You know, I played I played in G League for a couple years. I was lucky. I was you know, blessed enough to win a championship with the RGV Vipers. But it was just like, so fast forward, you know, rewind. Um, I didn't know how crucial the G League was. You know, I was blessed enough to sign a 2-year contract, guaranteed contract with the Clippers, which doesn't really happen for
Hmm.
second round picks. You know what I'm saying? But they saw my potential. They knew I should have been, you know, top 10. They knew that. You know what
No
I'm
fact.
saying? And so I was blessed enough, Jerry West was on our staff, you know what I'm saying? So I was blessed enough. They was just seeing me every day putting that work in. So I was blessed enough to sign a 2-year guaranteed contract. And so I didn't really understand that. Like, I mean, like people in the G League were hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like people not really getting paid, like people not really eating on the road. And it was like I was always that teammate. Like, you know, I show love. I'm getting some food. Like, oh yeah, you good? Like, woo woo. Or you know what I'm saying? Anything we go out, like, man, y'all good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody want to go out. You know, they on
Yeah.
the road. They got nothing to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was always that type of player. You know what I'm saying? Because I understood. I was just like, man, like, you know, I know you hungry. We've been on this bus for 5, 6 hours. Like we stopping right now. I know you hungry right now. You know what I'm saying? And so like I was just always that dude who was just always like, man, you good. Like anybody who know me know, like, man, like I got it. Like it's all right. You know what I'm saying? And so got a call basically said I was getting traded to Atlanta, me and
Mm.
Jamal. Mind you, this is my going to my second year. So it was like, obviously, my first year I didn't play. So my second year, you know, the rookies was me and Bryce Johnson. He went to North Carolina.
Yep.
And so it basically, we were going to take the place of Brandon Bass and Mo Spates. And so that was basically, you know, our team, you know, so that's how I was looking at it. Like, okay, this is my second year. I know for sure like I'm playing, I'm in the rotation. Like I know I'm working out hard in the summer. Like, you know, me, Sam Cassell, you know, and, you know, cause me and Sam go way back. I know his son, you know, I took my official visit to UConn. You know,
Oh,
my
okay.
top five, Oklahoma State, Maryland, UConn, Wisconsin, and Duke. And so I ended up I knew Sam, I knew his sons, you know, and so me and Sam, you know, we had, you know, he's from Maryland too, Maryland guy. You know, I'm working out every day, I get a call. Basically, I gotta report to Vegas in a day, you know, and play with the Hawks. And remind you, every team in summer league, they've been practicing for 3 weeks a month,
Right.
getting ready for this. So it was like I've been practicing with one team just like they have, and now I gotta basically forget everything that I've been doing, practices as far as in plays, everything, and basically just meet this team in Vegas and just play with this summer league team that I have no plays. I don't know any plays. I don't know anything. I gotta just basically just play.
Wow.
And so I'm not even guaranteed playing time, but I know I'm on the team because I've been traded, you know, and I had a guaranteed contract. So I knew I was going to be on the team. And so when I get to Vegas, it was unreal because it was a line of players who couldn't even check in. Like, you know, like we're staying at the Wynn and like they give you per diem, but you have to obviously have money like on your card. And it's so like when you check in, like a lot of guys were waiting for their agents. It was just unreal. Like the line of players, like who couldn't even check in for themselves. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Like they wait, you know what I'm saying? They waiting to get it checked in. It was amazing to me. And so I'm waiting there, waiting for the Hawks, you know, Hawks people to come. And I want to play. So I told the head coach, I'm like, look, I'm like, you know, and actually so crazy, Darvin Ham, who's the head coach from the Lakers, he
Mm-hmm.
was on that staff. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? He was the one working me out and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just so crazy that um I asked them, I'm like, I want to play. Like, I want to learn all the plays. So they took me to a gym and I literally learned every single play in under a day.
So
Like, you know, seeing like that's
that
how
just
really
shows how
dialed in,
like
like
yeah.
how my IQ is. Like,
Yeah.
really, like you know, I learned every single play. That's how, because it's like in summer league, it's like you playing it. You're not playing for just your team. You playing for all
Oh,
29 other
facts.
teams there.
Facts.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep.
And so that's kind of I was looking at. Like, okay, well, if this team don't appreciate me, I know somebody else will. And so on that team, they just drafted John Collins.
Mm.
They had Torian Prince. We had DeAndre Bembry. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we had a nice little core. And so, you know, I get in the game, you know, I'm hooping. You know, so my highlights and stuff from Summer League with the Hawks are on YouTube and stuff. But like, man, I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm doing my
Yeah.
thing. Like I'm really doing my thing. I'm playing hard. I'm doing everything right. And toward the end of the workout, I mean, toward the end of the summer league, I get a call basically to go up to the suite, you know, talk to the management. Basically, they say they like what they see. They can't wait to see me in Atlanta, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I go to Atlanta and, they had Dennis Schroeder and then they just traded Paul Millsap. They just traded Dwight Howard. So I'm basically looking at this as like, I'm about to play.
Let's
You know
go.
what I'm saying? Like, they ain't got no bigs. Ain't no reason why I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? So I go there, you know, they got Malcolm Delaney, they got Schroeder, they got Bazemore. And so like it's just like, I'm like, okay. And we working out hard, like Ham working me out so hard. Like I'm talking about like I don't even understand why he working me out this hard, like medicine ball work, like not even touching the regular ball, just straight medicine ball. I'm like, dang, like I'm going hard. Like I'm looking at everybody else and like, man. So after the workout, I'm like, I'm in the locker room, Schroeder and all that. I'm like, man, why he pushing me this hard? Like, you know what I'm saying? He pushing me real hard. Like, he like, man, they ain't got no bigs, man. Like, you a young dude. We got to get you ready. You about to be playing against grown men every night. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I kind of embraced it. You know, so I kind of like, okay, he gave me better. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, um, uh, I'm with Atlanta. You know, I'm looking at houses. You know, I got my girl with me. You know, we're looking at houses and stuff like that. And I basically get a call, basically like when I'm looking at houses, like they releasing me. And so I didn't really understand why. I'm like, man, I'm putting all this work in, like, and they, the owner calls me like, we're going a different route, nothing you did wrong, nothing at all. And so I'm like, okay, I was cool. I was okay. The Clippers won't hurt me. The Clippers won't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I'm kind of used to it. I'm like, okay, I kind of had my guard up a little bit more after that happened. And so I was like, okay. But it was just so happening Chicago was willing to pick me up right away. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about people don't really know is I already had a contract going. So if I went to Chicago, they was basically gonna have to. They was gonna, either I was gonna either have two contracts going. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying at once.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And so I get to Chicago, and I was just hour from Milwaukee. Like, what I'm saying? It's like, I got a lot of friends coming up, pull up on me. I had a house, in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And so it was a fun experience. I had fun in Chicago. It was we had a great team. Bobby Portis was on that team. We had Zach LaVine. Holiday. Just a
Mhm.
Holiday. Like we had a lot of guys on that team. Campaign like Antonio Blakeney. Like a lot of talent on that team. And I'm thinking everything was going good. Everything was going good. And literally like we're in preseason. I think it was like 10 days before my contract was supposed to be guaranteed. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ended up, K Felder. So Chris Dunn. So my guy, shout out to Chris Dunn. My guy Chris Dunn dislocated his finger in
Mhm.
the game. And they needed to sign a guard. So they basically said they ended up signing K Felder then, to fill in that guard position. So they're like, well, we're gonna bring you down to our G League, and then you perform well, whatever, we'll bring you up by January.
Mhm.
And I didn't like that at all because I'm like,
Right.
well, what has to do with me? But they're like, well, we have to fill this position in. Chris Dunn went out, whatever, woo woo, and so uh, I think for like the first time in my like professional career, like where I started, I think I was really like unfocused. You know what I'm saying? Like I was real unfocused. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Chicago, because I was real mad. It was just like I was just real mad because I felt like I wasn't given a fair chance. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, like I wasn't listening to anybody. I was just kind of like, man, like that, they tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
this. And I didn't realize I was only making it worse for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm practicing. I may come late. You know what I'm saying? I may do this or this, and it's just like, um, the team at the time. We had Gennaro Pargo, who was our assistant coach. He ex NBA. He kind of like, like, who do you think you are? Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think you are? Like, you know what I'm saying? You haven't done anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you may be talented, but you haven't done anything. And so I kind of was going back and forth with him. It didn't really make sense to me why I was, and then we had the G League showcase. That's like, where all the NBA teams look at G League talent, and I wasn't playing. And so they had Cristiano Felicio. That was the big in front of me in Chicago. I used to kill him. Like, man, like documented. Like, man, like I'm talking about, man, anybody who was in Chicago, they know. You know what I'm saying? I used to kill him like daily, like kill him. I used to want to kill him. And the thing about it is, anybody who know me, I talk. So I was
Oh yeah.
letting him know
Oh yeah.
I was killing him. I was letting him know I was killing him. But that's their man. You know what I'm saying? He signed a 4-year, $32 million deal. So, he getting $8 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he not going nowhere. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And so, but they moved him down to the G League, which I thought was so mind blowing. He was the most paid G League player ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so they moved him down to the G League. So it's like, man, y'all told me y'all trying to get me ready to get back up there, and y'all bring him down. Now at the end of the day, anybody who knows, G League, NBA, they know if a player from the NBA goes on to the G League, they're playing all the minutes.
Yep.
They shoot all the shots. It's their focus is on him.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, he plays my position. So I got to sacrifice. So I got to be like, okay, I'm only playing 8 minutes tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't, I didn't look at the bigger picture. I'm like, man, this don't make sense. We got the G League Showcase coming up. There's no way he going to the G League Showcase and I'm not playing. This is gonna kill me. But it's like at the end of the day, it's just like let's say if I do get picked up to an NBA team, most likely I'm not about to be taking all the shots.
Right.
Most likely I ain't about to be playing 20, 30 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't click to me that like now it does. I'm older, etc. And it's just like I'm not gonna be playing all those minutes. So it's like teams look at that, your energy on the bench. Are you celebrating your teammates? Are you standing up? Are you in a timeout? Or are you pouting? Are you sitting down? And I figured like, I feel that like that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of that. And so I asked for a trade. I wanted to go to Utah. And so I asked to go to the Salt Lake City Stars. I wanted to go there. And because, I feel like, well, if he comes to the showcase with us, I'm not going to play. So that's going to kill me. And so right before the showcase, I ended up, leave and go to the Stars, Salt Lake City Stars. So I was in the Utah program now.
Yep.
Utah, the thing about Utah is like, the altitude is a great place to work out, get in shape. You know what I'm saying? I was in shape. I was killing, but I had a chip on my shoulder when I got to Utah. Like I was really just like, I'm killing everybody. Like I left Chicago, you know what I'm saying? I was only renting a house, you know what I'm saying? So I left Chicago, I let go of the house, I'm just like, okay, I'm locked in. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not playing no games. I was cooking, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I was cooking with the Stars, like cooking. I'm talking about I'm cooking everybody. I'm killing. And so but I was still waiting on the Utah Jazz to pick me up. I was just still waiting. I'm like, man, I'm putting up these numbers, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why they ain't trying to come get me? And then I was just kind of like, it just didn't understand. I was just like, dang, like, what am I not doing? Like, why am I not getting picked up? I'm putting up these numbers. Like, I got my girl with me, so I ain't really doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I didn't understand why I wasn't getting picked up. And it was just like, my agent, like, it's like, you don't fit the system. And it was just like, I was just kind of thinking, and not to change the subject, but just talking about Loon. Shout out to Loon.
Yep.
Loon figured it out. Anybody who know Loon know in high school,
He was a
AAU
bucket.
was a bucket, and he was bringing the ball up.
Yep.
He was. They were saying he was the next Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just like he changed his whole game. And that's hard to do, especially with somebody, what I'm saying, highly ranked, highly talked about. He changed his game for the better. You know what I'm saying? He never gonna leave Golden State. I feel like, what I'm saying, he the core of the team.
For sure.
And so it was just like that's what they kind of wanted me to kind of do. And I feel like I was just like, I still feel like it's just like, it was just so hard for me to, like, what I'm saying, like, dang, like change my game. Like offense, like I know I can score, so I can really shoot the ball. Like, what I'm saying, I'm in these workouts, I'm, what I'm saying, 77 for 100 from three. Like I'm doing that now. Like, what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, like I'm really like shooting the ball like that. And so like, and it was just like, I know what team needs this. Like I know. And so but at the time they had Rudy Gobert, he not a scorer. They had Derek Favors, he not a scorer. And that's they big. They had Udo, forgot his first name, but he not a scorer. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they bigs weren't scorers. They had Donovan Mitchell, he in my class, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? They had Donovan Mitchell, you know what I'm saying? Basically, the core of the team. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else around them kind of filled in. And so it was just like, maybe this not a good pick for me. Maybe this not the right pick for me. And so I ended up going to the John Lucas camp. I ended up going to John Lucas workout. So John Lucas has a workout, has a kind of like a workout, like a workout plan for you. Have to, it's $20,000 to do it. It's a month. It's $20K. You know what I'm saying? And like John, like I remember I go back from eighth grade to John.
Yeah.
Yeah, so John, like, my mom, you know what I'm saying, shout out to my mom, she like, we got to get you in the NBA. You need to be in the NBA. You need to be in the NBA. It's like, it's kind of like, it's kind of stressful, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, sometimes people don't really understand, like, they think it's all your performances, whatever, but, man, it's way bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? So like, you get a lot of arguments with people, they don't really understand. They think, oh man, you should have played hard, practiced harder or whatever. And it's like, it's really kind of stuff out of your control, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And so um John Lucas basically, I talked to Johnny like, yo, your mom called me, want me to help you out and all this, buy your ticket to Houston and don't he was like, don't come on don't come on the flight if you ain't got 10K. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, oh, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. So I had to go to the jank, take 10 out. And basically I had like once I landed in Houston, I had to get John 10. And I owed him another 10 after the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's programmed basically like, I'm totally dialed in, like he drug tests you,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? He we working out 3 times a day. I'm working out at the Toyota Center. I have a morning workout, and he has his guy, local guy, his name's Tony Lusk. Shout out to Tony, saying he basically was taking me everywhere, from workouts. I had a therapist, I had a counselor I was talking to, every day. I was lifting weights every single day. Shout out to Tim Boutte. He's in Houston. He's doing this thing with the weights, totally like transformed my body. He pushed me to my limits. And I was doing that literally every single day. Sundays was off. So I was doing that literally 4 weeks, 5 weeks straight. And, it was to a point where I'm making 37, 38 threes in a row. Like, no lie. Like, in front of John. Like, John seeing everything. Like, so I'm like that. Like it's to a point like I'm shooting it like I know before I even release it is going in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know. Like, automatic. Like, I was putting up that many reps. You know what I'm saying? And so at the time, John's son, he was with the Iowa Wolves, junior. The Iowa Wolves, Minnesota G League team. So, I go to the Iowa Wolves, he gives me a chance from, that program I was in, gives me a chance out there. I was with DJO, shout out to DJO. I was with DJO out there, and it was it was good. You know what I'm saying? The coach, he kind of really felt like that he was kind of just giving me a handout. Like, okay, John Lucas is a juiced up guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm doing John a favor. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like his first chance to get somebody else, he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just gave him a favor. You know what I'm saying? And so they ended up getting Thomas Welch. He played with UCLA. Obviously, I don't think Thomas is better than me. I mean, I feel like no one would think that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, and so I ended up getting an opportunity. So after that opportunity, John called me like, "Need my help again, huh?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Need my help again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring you here. So that's why I ended up going to the Vipers. And that was in McAllen, Texas, South Texas, and that was Houston's G League team. So I go there, and the first day I get there, Joseph Blair, he's with the Wizards right now, assistant coach with the Wizards. His name is Joseph Blair, who's our head coach. He tells me, day one, we don't post up here. He said, we don't post up. So take posting up out your game. He said, John Lucas, he was with me when I was in high school, college. He was just like, told me to basically take a chance with you. I'm pretty much just kept it honest with me. And I respect that. He was like, I'm doing this for John. If John Lucas would have never said that, then you would have never, been on this team.
Damn.
So I'm like, all right. So, we had great guys. I had Gary Payne Jr. on my team. I had Daniel House. You know what I'm saying? I had Michael Frazier, great shooter. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of talent on that team. And so, I'm third big man on the team, obviously. And it's like everybody knows, like I'm showing them in practice, though. It's not like I'm not, I know I'm the man on this team. You know what I'm saying? I know. You know what I'm saying? I know no big here can guard me. I know. But at the end of the day, it's nothing I can do. But it's like they shoot three. And that's when I really kind of perfected my three even more, because that's what is different from working out and shooting threes and the game is shooting threes. But at the end of the day, he had a rule. If you shot the ball inside the paint and you didn't make it, you was coming out the game, because that's not what he wants. Because at the time, Houston, they was all shooting. You know, they had Capella at the big.
Yeah.
You know, Capella, he's in the dunker. You know, getting bounce passes, dunks, lobs, pick and roll. You know, not a post up type of player. Doesn't have moves to post up, whatever. And that was just all just gunning, shooting threes like Golden State. That's how the Warriors. I mean, that's how Houston was playing. And so, you know, I'm shooting threes, not in the games. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident enough to take them shots in the games. You know what I'm saying? And so, my first, that year, I'm only played 10 minutes, but I averaged 13 points. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a great, like my points per, it was great. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, for
saying? And
sure.
yeah, and so it was just, but it's just I wasn't playing enough minutes. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't playing enough minutes, and it was just like the guys in front of me. Like we had an assignment. His name was Isaiah Hartenstein. He's still in the NBA, and Chris Walker. You know, it's like those two guys. Like I just knew I should have been playing, and it was just like, I had to just take my pride to the side. Honestly, I didn't know where else I was going to go. I
Right.
didn't know who else was going to pick me up.
Yep.
And so I was just like, okay, cool. But we ended up winning a championship. That was cool. And, I ended up, after the championship, I ended up living in Miami for 5 months. I was in Miami. And so I was in Miami, and I met, the daughter of my mom. My daughter's mom. I ended up,
Yep.
meeting her.
That's
You know what
what's
I'm
up.
saying? And, I kind of took a pause. You know what I'm saying? I kind of took a pause with basketball. I took a pause. I wasn't really locked in seriously. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't working out. I kind of was just chilling. Like, man, I'm cooling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I moved to Vegas. I was in Henderson area. I moved, left Miami. She was living in Vegas at the time. So when I met her, I ended up leaving Miami, went to Vegas, and moved to Henderson. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying in a nice, country club area. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And so, I ended up living. We ended up living together and stuff like that. And it was just, I was unfocused. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up getting another opportunity with I ended up getting another opportunity with the Vipers. I ended up getting an opportunity when to come in, try out, and work out. So I come in, try out. I end up leaving Vegas, come in, try out, work out, and they end up going a different way with me. And uh, at the time, I'm like, okay, well, I'm still gonna be in McAllen, so I ended up living in McAllen. Because that was my whole thing. I'm like, okay, if I'm playing the Vipers, I'm gonna get a crib this time. I ain't about to stay in no apartment with no other people. Like, I gotta, I got my girl, I got, kid, like, I'm like, man, like, I ain't doing it. So, I went on Airbnb, looked up a smooth spot, I'm paying them monthly, paying them cash. So it was like, that's what I was doing. And so I wasn't staying with everybody else. I had my own place, everything, shit burned down. And so, I was just living out in McAllen.
Mhm.
Everybody know McAllen is 95% Mexican out there. It's right by the 15 minutes from the border. Like, it's total different life, but it's nice. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful palm trees. You know what I'm saying? You got the, South Padre Island. That's like a little spring break
Yep.
destination for people
Yep.
to go to and stuff like that. And so, I ended up linking up with somebody from the TBT. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I played TBT. They were like, yo, this is gonna be ESPN, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of went under the radar. Like people kind of like, dang, where is he at? Like, what is he doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't heard about him in a while. And it was just like, I was real out of shape. You know what I'm saying? I was real out of shape, you know what I'm saying? And so I kind of got my way back. So I flew myself out to LA. I'm like, okay, I'm about to get serious. I flew myself out to LA. Shout out to AJ Moy. He was my trainer in LA. He went to Indiana,
Yep.
and I was working out at the Mamba Academy. So at the time it was a Mamba Academy. They
Yep.
didn't they took the Mamba name off, but
Yeah.
like
It's
it was a
sport.
Mamba
They just
Academy,
call it Sports Academy now, right?
Academy
Yeah.
now. But everybody knows it's
Thousand
really
thousand note.
Mamba. Yeah, facts.
Yep.
So, I was working out there and
Yep.
I was going hard there, working out, got myself in shape, and I was gonna play TBT. And so I really wasn't too fine from TBT because I was using that as the exposure. It wasn't necessarily obviously it was like, yeah, I can win the money too, but I'm like, I'm on ESPN. If I
Yeah.
kill, I know everybody gonna be looking at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I played with sideline cancer. You know, it's me, Marcus King. You
Yep.
know, Eric Thompson. He's a big. We had a lot of other guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I can't even think of their names right now.
Yeah,
And
no, for sure.
so, and so, you know, first game. I think it's the first game. We played Ethan Happ. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, okay, this one dude, he think he better than me. You know what I'm saying? I know he think he better than me, but I know I'm better, way better than him. You know, and it's all the Wisconsin thing. You know, I smashed Vito Brown head in the ground. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this
yeah.
like, okay, like, you know, and so I don't like any, you know, say not nothing personal, but it's like you go to Wisconsin, I'm at your head. Like, you
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you got something against me. You know what I'm saying? That's just like my thinking. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all got something against me. You know, you remember, high school, they, and in the games and stuff like that, they yelling ACT stuff, they ABCs and all this stuff. Like, I don't forget none of that.
Yeah,
And
no,
so
for sure.
yeah, and so we played to have, only played 19 minutes. You know, I had 21 points. You know, I'm killing. You know, the footage, the footage of TBT, I think it's on my page, but no, like I'm killing. It's my first time people really seeing me. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing me. And so they like, dang, like, oh, like, but unfortunately, I ended up getting hurt. So fourth quarter, I'm backpedaling back, and my teammate had a collision and fell on my leg.
Ooh.
And so at the time, I'm not really knowing what's going on. At the time, this is COVID. You know what I'm saying? So COVID going on. And so everything, like, I'm talking about locked up. Like, you can't even, they not even cleaning your room. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even cleaning your room. They not doing any of that. Like, you got to get tested every day. You
Yep.
spit it in the machine every day. And it's
Yep.
just like the environment at that hotel, all these players, it was crazy. You couldn't even leave the hotel, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you couldn't bring nobody with you or anything, but you know how, I managed, you know what I'm saying? I managed to loop on through that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like that after her, you know what I'm saying? I loop through all that. So, but I have an injury, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have to leave, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, and it's like on my lower foot. I'm like, man, did I tear my Achilles? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man. And so I hope I didn't tear my Achilles. And so I go back to McAllen and I get kind of treated. And they're basically saying that I sprained my Achilles. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just about to working out, getting ready, working out. But I'm just noticing like it's not getting any better. So at the time, due to circumstance, my daughter's mom, she decided to move to Houston. So I
Mhm.
was still in McAllen though. And so, I'm like working out physical therapy, but it's like not getting any better. So I'm like, man, I got to go to Houston. So I go to Houston, to see my daughter, spend some time with them. And I go to the doctors. Shout out to Dr. Sanders. He's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? One of the best orthopedic, surgeons in Houston. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Right on Westheimer. You know what I'm saying? And so I go there. He checks me out, and he's like, "You need to have surgery immediately." I'm like, surgery? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? He's like, your Achilles is ruptured. It's growing the wrong way. Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because mind you, I'm still kind of dunking. I'm still kind of like
Yeah.
doing a lot of, working out. I'm kind of like, I'm thinking it's getting better. Like, I'm just going to look. No, he's like, no, like, he said it's healing the wrong way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I tore my Achilles July 9th. I ended up getting surgery December 9th. You know what I'm
And
saying?
hold on, what year? I mean, what month?
July 9th.
Yeah.
This is 20,
And
2020,
you ended up getting the surgery when?
December 9th.
Yeah. So, okay, so that just shows like all of what you had to go through, like all of that. And I know we kind of coming up on time too, but it's like all of what you went through, like it just made you more resilient, more dominant, like more focused. And like
No,
now,
thanks.
like like now you're, you're successful, you had a successful Puerto Rico,
No,
out
for sure.
success.
And
Like
then
I
the
I
thing
think
about it is,
you
only
led that
here for
league.
5 months, Lee. Only here for 5 months.
That's it. That's
And
all
I
you
had
gotta
my
do.
surgery.
So you go to Puerto Rico, kill it. You recovered in 5 months, which is
5
nuts.
months.
That's
Ruptured
crazy
Achilles.
for
Yeah,
Achilles
facts.
playing at such a high level. Then, you go to Taiwan and like you just been killing it over there. So like, bro, like more power to you, dog. And like
Yeah,
like it doesn't surprise me at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like from seeing you, I basically started like knowing who you were like your freshman year. But then, like I said, when I was able to, get on staff and become, assistant coach, obviously we developed that bond and that connection. I remember some rides, drop you off at the crib or, the
yeah, man.
ride,
R.I.P.
the ride.
Markel too, man. R.I.P.
Yeah,
Kill,
man,
man, too,
hey,
man.
for real. I'm glad you brought the RIP Kale,
Yeah,
man.
man,
Yep,
for
yep.
sure.
Some, them van rides. Like you was one of the first people who I knew with Apple Music. Remember,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
used to plug up to the aux. You used to plug up to the aux, like, man, what you trying to
Yeah,
listen to? What you trying to listen to? I'll be like, man,
yeah,
I'm on that Jeezy.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, but we coming up on time, D. But then I got 5 quick hitters, like 5 rapid fire questions. So
All right,
whatever
bet.
comes to mind,
Yeah,
just
no,
answer it.
I ain't gonna prolong it. That's what I'm saying. I talk all day,
No, we
man.
good. We good though. We good.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I just got some daddy duties I got to attend to. But
No, no, no. Facts, facts, facts.
hey, so one CD you can listen to, no skips.
One CD I can listen to, no skips. The Carter Three,
Solid. One superpower you wish you had.
to heal,
Would you rather be hot or cold?
cold.
Book or movie title to describe your life?
Book or movie title?
Yep.
Book or movie title to describe my life?
Or song title.
Uh, Misunderstood.
Love it. Love it. All right. Top 5 NBA big men of all time. In your opinion, who's your top 5?
In order or just random?
Just
Top
just just
five.
you just 5.
Okay. Shaq. Um, Shaq. You gotta have. Mm, Shaq. I like DeMarcus Cousins. That was real big on him, so I gotta stay loyal.
Boogie.
DeMarcus Cousins. Uh, Joel Embiid. Uh, Joel Embiid. Uh, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Mhm.
Uh, and my last one. I gotta go with Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. Hey, that's a solid 5. That's a solid 5, man. But
Yeah.
D, hey, I appreciate you pulling up to Leaf with the Legends
Yeah,
podcast.
anytime, man.
Man,
Anytime, man.
for sure, man. Keep killing it.
Anytime
Keep
you wanna, shoot, you know what I'm saying? You can do whatever, man. I
Come
know
on,
you
man.
still got a little J. I
We
know you
gonna
still got a little J on you, man.
hey, we can do that. I ain't shooting 77 out of 100, but I still
Yeah,
got a little
no.
clip.
Yeah, I know you got a little clip on you, man.
You remember them post practice
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
competitions.
I remember, man. I
Hey,
need I need some more hoodies too, man. I see you got the logo on there,
yeah,
man. I
yeah. I'm
see you,
trying we
man.
trying
I
to
see you
bring we
still
trying to
strong
bring
with it.
something back. We trying to bring something back.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I still got the hoodie, so I still got the red hoodie I have,
Oh,
man.
that's lit. That's lit. I love to hear that. I love to hear
Yeah,
that. Man, but hey, I appreciate you, taking some time, to pull up to Leaf with the Legends podcast. There's been
no,
another
for sure.
episode. Remember, be legendary or be lost. Peace.
Peace.